Good morning. Welcome to the children's message for Sunday, February 14th, 2021. We're so happy to lead today's message. We are the Schumacher family. I'm Melody.
I'm Lucy. I'm Grace.
And I'm Noah.
Today's theme is the Transfiguration. Let's take a minute to talk about the word transfiguration. The beginning of the word or the prefix is trans, which means to have changed from one thing to another. Can you think of anything that starts with the word trans?
Transition?
Yeah, transition, like you move from one thing to the next, like you transitioned to in-person learning.
Transportation?
Yeah, transportation, like you transport goods from one place to another.
Oh, I got one. Transformation. You know, in geometry when you move shapes around on a coordinate grid.
I guess.
Sure. Those are great examples of the prefix trans. So thinking back to our lesson today, Jesus is going to go through a transfiguration. It means that he's going to change shape or form.
A caterpillar goes through a transfiguration and becomes a butterfly. It changes shapes and forms. In Harry Potter, Professor McGonagall teaches transfiguration, and she can transform into a cat.
Yes. Yeah, in today's lesson, Jesus will go through a transfiguration. Let's set the stage for what is about to happen. Jesus has just told his disciples that he is going to die. Some did not know what to believe. Was Jesus really going to die? Is he really the Messiah? If you want to follow along, we'll be reading from the Spark Bible on page 358.
In the Transfiguration story, Peter, James, and John went with Jesus up a mountain. All of a sudden, Jesus began to glow. Clouds came over the mountain, and all of a sudden they heard a voice say, "This is my son. Listen to him." It was God. All of a sudden, everything came back to normal. They decided to walk down the mountain and talk about how God's promise was going to happen.
Wow, what an incredible thing that Jesus did. The Transfiguration gives us a tiny glimpse into heaven's wonder. If we look close enough, we can find these glimpses of God and hope in all around us. Jesus' Transfiguration is a bright light, and that reminds me of a recent poem by an inspiring young poet, Amanda Gorman. She says, "There is always light.
If only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it."
Oh my goodness, yes. We too can become the light. We are brave enough to be it. Let's talk about how brave our children have been.
I'm brave when I try new foods and meet new friends. I'm brave when I skate down hills and solve math problems.
Yeah, and children all across the world have been so brave during the COVID pandemic. You're brave when you're doing hybrid learning or distance learning, or you're brave when you're going back to school. Bravery is doing hard things. I'd like to read you a few pages of a beautiful children's book about being brave and being you by Peter Reynolds. My wish for you, no matter where your journey leads, is for you to always
be you. Be adventurous.
Live a big life. When you are ready, step outside your comfort zones and bravely explore new paths and see where they lead you.
Be brave.
Try new things, take a deep breath, and plunge forward into new experiences. It gets easier every time you try. Let's bow our heads to pray. Dear Jesus, thank you for the Transfiguration story and for being a bright light in our lives. May we be bright lights for others. May we let our light shine for all of the world to see. Let us carry poetry in our hearts today and every day, for there is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it. And all God's people said, Amen. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.